Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. This topic I have been itching to talk about. I love following conspiracy theories. I have loved it since I was 15 years old. There was just something so, it's like forbidden knowledge, right? It's very countercultural, it's very contrarian, that kind of thing. I've always loved them. Yes, some of them are batshit insane, yes. Some of them are just incredibly hilarious how people concoct them. But then there are some you really pay attention to. Because how many things went on, like actually went on in human history, or even like let's say the past, the 20th century, how many things went on that they called a conspiracy, right? If you have ever researched MK Ultra or the Operation Paperclip, right? If you said the US government saved Nazis, like literal war criminal Nazis, not the fucking new ones, but like I'm talking about like direct contact with Hitler type Nazis. The US government literally gave them refuge. They turned away they turned away boats full of Jewish people fleeing the fucking Holocaust. They turned them away back to their fucking deaths. But they gave literal Nazi scientists refuge. Look up Operation Paperclip. Right? That's not what this is about, though. You read the title. You know what this is about. There's something so ominous about hearing the New World Order or a different world order or a liberal world order. Because you see the kinds of ghouls that are saying, we're entering into a new age and everyone will be blah 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 blah. It's never that. Most people, as much as they're fucking sheeps and NPCs, they have that little spark in their fucking brain that's like, yeah, something's not right here, That little spark, and then it just dies again until the next big thing happens, and it sparks again, then the next big thing, and it's like now it's we've reached the discourse of microchips, right? That now it's gonna be implanting microchips into your wrist or into your forehead or into your brain, and if you don't get the microchip, you're not going to be allowed to buy or sell anything, right? As much as I loathe the Abrahamic tradition as an ideology, their eschatology, like their apocalypse fantasies are they're such good rabbit holes to go to. You can never be bored going down an Abrahamic apocalyptic fantasy rabbit hole, right? So they equate the microchip to the mark of the beast, right? And I can't remember which Bible. I think it was in Revelation, right, where they talk about the number 666. It's the name. The number is the name of a man who will do blah 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 blah, something like that, right? But the thing about 666, and it's so weird to me how Christianity is so deeply anti-Semitic, and yet their own fucking New Testament was written by people who were entrenched in the Jewish culture at the time and used Jewish idioms and used other Jewish religious practices, including one called gematria. Gematria was a means of communicating religious messages through numbers, if I'm not mistaken, right? It was somewhat esoteric, but I think for the Orthodox Jew or like the practicing Jews at the time, if you told them the number 666, they'd be able to calculate and tell you that it was probably Emperor Nero, right, of the Roman Empire at the time. And the whole New Testament is actually just a big fuck you to the Roman Empire, if I'm being honest. It's a massive fuck you over and over and over and over again. Somehow they made that religion They're fucking really, like, the Romans were just built different.
I'm built different.
Oh shit!
Honestly, built different. Built different. You take a new forming religion that is basically a polemic against your entire empire, and you're like, yeah, that's our religion now. Built different. But either way, number 666 doesn't mean the Antichrist or whatever, and even the term Antichrist itself, it can be a title, but it can also be like just a noun, right? Even like the word Satan, it can be a noun, but it can also be like a title or a noun, yeah. And Satan basically just meant adversary, and if you read the Old Testament, Satan was actually under God's authority, right? He could walk into heaven. The story of Job, Satan, right? Somebody designated as Satan goes to heaven to talk to God and make a bet about, I bet I can make this follower of yours curse your name. And then God is like, oh, all right, bet. So that's the only time Satan is really recorded to have killed anybody, because Satan he brought plagues on the guy, he killed his livestock, he did something else, and then he killed his entire family. Yes. Off a bet, by the way, right? Every time something different happened to Job, he was like, I'll praise God still, I'll praise God still. And then he killed his entire family, I'll still praise God. And he's like, oh, what a miserable existence I have for, I don't know, not praising God enough. It was such a fucked up chapter of the Bible, man. And the thing is, God is omnipotent. If somebody omnipotent is still able to let you undergo brutal, sadistic torture just for you to say that you still worship him, even though he already knew you were going to say this, that's not a God, to personally. But anyways, it's a long tangent. But the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast isn't necessarily a physical thing, because when it was written against Nero, and Nero, in fact, pretty much most of the Roman emperors at the time were just persecuting the shit out of everybody in their borders who wasn't considered Roman. So the mark of the beast was probably, to me, most likely just money. Personally, I think it was just money, right? You can't buy or sell without it, and if you look through the description of what the mark of the beast actually is, to me it just seems like money. They just rewarded money, but like the money, like the Roman coin, basically the coin with the Roman emperor's face on it is the mark of the beast, to me personally. But in any case, the microchips. So now the microchips. The reason why I say that there will be no government mandate for brain chips or microchips. There will be none. There will be none. Trust me. And the reason why I say this, it's very simple, right? You're probably looking at it right now. What government mandate existed for you to buy your smartphone? Any country, please. If you're from any country in the world that mandated you buy a smartphone, or you won't be able to buy or sell or read or do anything, please let me know. I have not heard of one. And I'm pretty sure, with all the conspiracy shit I follow, I'm sure one person would have brought it up. There was no government mandate to have a smartphone. The smartphone itself was inaccessible for most people, even in Western countries, until like other companies started making their own. Because at first it was just the iPhone, right? In 2006, 2007? Yeah, it was just the iPhone. Then I think Samsung came out, then the rest followed, right? And in that, there was no government mandate for anybody to have, like, even right now, if you don't want to have a phone, like, it's just because most places require you to have a phone number, right? To list down your phone number, like banking or whatever. So you can have a really shitty brick phone, right, and still function because it's just a place to contact you, or right, it's a point of contact. But there was no like, oh, you have to get this smartphone. You have to get the government mandated smartphone, or in any country, in any country. And if they're going to bring out any microchips or brain chips, it's going to be the exact same way. And you'll see it play out. And there's nothing you can do about it. Because our economies now, for you to be at least somewhat competitive, for the average person to be somewhat competitive, you need a smartphone. You do. Somewhat competitive, right? These are very relative terms that I'm using. But to be socially competitive, economically competitive, right? Just to stay informed as much as possible, you kind of need a smartphone. But at the same time, we know that there is a smartphone addiction out here. Leave alone social media addiction. There is a smartphone addiction. There's a reason why they're built so lightly and the screens are so wide and all that. These technologies have the smartest people on the planet devising them to be as convenient and easy to use and easy to get hooked on as possible. Just smartphones by themselves, by the way. Don't even factor in social media. My own parents are using smartphones they're probably using their phones much more than I'm using mine, right? I pretty much only use mine for like YouTube, and that's honestly, that's about it. And just messaging people now and again. I really don't use it for literally my parents use it for way more than I do. So it's in the same way, whatever brain chips or microchips are coming up, we will go into stores and be like, ooh, that brain chip looks nice. Oh, this is the latest iPhone brain chip. I want it, right? Ooh, this is the latest fucking Android brain chip with fucking now with 20% less ads, right? And that's the crazy thing. That's the fucking crazy thing. To me, Black Mirror was a documentary. It was not like this whole sci-fi imagining the future, bruh. It was a documentary. It's the same way somebody who in 1930s Germany was filming like average the daily life of an average German type thing, right? They were filming it and they're like, oh, this will be a nice bit of historical I don't know, theater video, whatever. Yeah, be a nice historical account, right? Did they know it was gonna culminate in the Second World War? Probably not. Maybe they did. But it's going to. The thing is, we're so consumeristic now. Even evil lives in right in front of our faces now, right? That's why I don't necessarily believe in secret societies. I mean, fuck. They're literally coming out and telling us that we will own nothing and be happy. We will rent everything and be happy. The people who own the most are what the hell? Am I dying today? The people who own the most will be telling us that what they are telling us, we will own nothing and be happy. Tell me how that makes sense. 20 years ago, they could have never dreamed of saying something like this out loud. They couldn't have. They literally, they couldn't have. Evil lives in the open now. They don't have to hide. They don't have to do any secret Illuminati hand signs anymore for us. If anything, that brings more controversy, more eyes to them, and gives them more attention, and people will still change. They will still change nothing. They will do nothing. They will not react, right? And they've been seeing this stuff on social media by itself without any need to insert any sort of secret Illuminati agenda, just seeing the sheer stupidity that people have entertained on social media, that just lets them know the vast majority of people are too stupid to do anything, even if they knew bro, every government on the planet could release all the fucking classified information that they have under their all their dockets, in all their cabinets, in all the online, they could release it all today. And the vast majority of people would not do a fucking thing about it. They wouldn't. It's it is a filthy fucking truth I've come to accept. They're too complacent. They're literally too complacent. This is why I say we're already dead, man. You know? If you found out tomorrow everything that your government has hidden from you, I mean, shit. Look at Edward Snowden. Look at Julian Assange. These are guys who released, just straight up, I don't even know how to explain it. The information they released showed just how much our governments don't give a flying fuck about anything they claim to do on paper, especially towards their own citizens. And look at their lives now. This world is still spinning. The same controversies and conspiracies are still going on. People know about them. If they really want to know about them, they can find out about them. But nothing is happening. Nothing is really dramatically changed, right? They'll appease you now and then. Just throw you some freebies. And you'll just continue being a good fucking bot for them. So don't be worried about Brainchips, about Microchips. They're coming. But even the sense that they're coming is the same way that smartphones also came to us. People will be out competing for the latest versions. And let me tell you why it's going to be a brain chip. It's going to be a brain chip because of YouTube. Because of their advertising system. Our lives have been atomized by these corporations. We just don't know how badly they've atomized our lives. At any given stage of your life, they have a monetization plan, right? I even saw, which app was it that was trying to release an app for kids? I think it was TikTok or Instagram for kids. Mind you, we already know these companies have come out and told us themselves using our services is damaging to young people, very mentally damaging to young people, right? And they still exist, and we still use our smartphones, and hella people still use social media. Heck, I do too, right? But we know these things are fucking evil. They're literally ruining our society every fucking day. They're ruining young people every single day. That's not even an exaggeration. Because if you think about the amount of viral content that comes out every other day, just to get that spike of dopamine every time seeing something went viral. Oh, let me get it and let me keep up with it. Oh, this other thing went viral. Oh, this person went viral. Like over and over and over again. They're fucking with our brain chemistry, right? And they have admitted to it. Do you know how hard it is for a corporation to admit that their products are poisoning literally humanity, that they're poisoning their consumers? Do you know how hard it is for a corporation to do that? Cigarette companies knew that they were selling poison to people. They knew what cigarettes were doing to people for decades before any public health measures started being enacted. And till now, the cigarette companies are still multi-billion, probably multi-trillion-dollar companies now, if I'm being honest, right? Evil is out in the open now. And now the reason why it's going to be a brain chip is literally, I'm pretty sure this was an episode of Black Mirror, interrupting your brain chip. I don't even know what the fuck they're going to be doing at that point, right? But in between using your brain chip, there'll be fucking 30-second ads every hour on the hour. right? And the only way to get rid of them is to pay more or to just, I don't even know. I don't even know what the fuck it's gonna be at that point. I think, yeah, you're just gonna have to pay more, pretty much, as usual. Man, the thing is, it's going to happen, right? If you look up, there's already places. I think Australia that have already tested out the thing that Elon Musk said he was going to do has already been tested 3 times already in Australia. I'll look the article up and link it. So as far as warning people and everything, that's why I say this is it's a futile attempt. It's a futile effort. Most of you that I'm talking to gravitated towards this kind of content, right? Because we're on the same wavelength, to be honest, right? We might have differences in different topics, but overall, we can tell that things are very fucking wrong in this reality that we're seeing, right? We might have a chance. You might have a chance to educate your friends and family. You might. Chances are not really. But like the wider population, keep dreaming. Keep dreaming, honestly. Right? The best we can do now is literally watch this shit burn. Because it's like, they're not adding the fuel to the fire. Everyone is dripping in fuel right now. We're drinking it. We're fucking using it as lube. We're drowning in it right now. When they do light that match, it's gonna be a fucking wild ride, right? And you can try and warn people as much as you want, but most of them will not react. I'm sorry, they won't, right? If the past few years is anything to go by how desensitized people are as well, you're not going to help them. You know? I guess you could refuse the chip and everything, but like I said, it's not gonna come to you as a government mandate. It's gonna come to you in the package of a smartphone. It's gonna come to you, brought to you by this phone corporation or that phone corporation or this social media company or that social media company, right? That's how it's going to come to you, and people will still buy it. Buy it, not government mandate on them. Buy it. Stay safe out there.